Hello, this is Postdoc Chronicles, week number 59. Let's go to Postdoc first because there's not a lot of report because last weekend I went to Hong Kong, so I'm gonna talk about that most of this Postdoc Chronicles. But anyway, for Checkmate, Roberto and Christoph already gave me an analysis that is suited, that they think is suited to a someone who will be implementing an analysis for the first time. Because like I said in my previous video, I don't want to pick just a random analysis and then maybe it will be hard. So this thing it involves a production of a search for SUSY particles in the compressed mass spectra, and it's they said it's easier because it's like an upgrade in luminosity of an existing search which has already been implemented before. So they said maybe the cuts and the analysis would not be so different the moment is increased to a higher luminosity. So that's that. And then for MUED. So we had a chat yesterday with Roberto and Jong, and then we talked about the recent plots that I already have, and the results that I found where wimpy and power settings has no difference when I plot the momentum distribution. So we wanted to talk about how to move forward. It turns out that so Jong does not believe that there's no there's no difference between wimpy and power setting, and it turns out yes, I did. I talked about the switch in my previous Postdoc Chronicles, but I was using the wrong one. So you see, there's like a switch for wimpy and power setting for time like showers, basically the showers associated with the final state radiation. But there are also space like showers which are associated with the initial state radiation. Okay, but in our specific model that we're looking at, I should be looking at the latter instead of the former. So what I was doing first is I was looking at the time like shower, and then Jong said the contributions of these the final state radiation of these guys to the jets that we're looking at should be negligible compared to the ISR, the initial state radiation. So I should be looking at the space like instead. So now I'm running it right now, and Jong said we should be expecting to see a difference. And then the moment we see a difference, then moving forward, we will be applying matching when we do our analysis. Because last Post of Chronicles, I said that we wouldn't have to do that, but it turns out again I was looking at the wrong showers. I was switching the wrong option for the wimpy and power setting. And then finally in the MUED projects. Oh no, sorry, that was MUED. The DiHiggs project. So just this morning, we had a chat with Oleg, with Subhadip, my collaborators from Finland, and also from Jong. Again, Jong is currently in Germany, and again, we discussed how to move forward because I believe I mentioned like last around I think January or February, there was like a paper in archive that also dealt with DiHiggs, and then actually their paper was published like April. And again, thinking about it, so like January, February, March, April, it took like 4 months for their paper to get accepted. My paper, my current paper right now is still under review. We submitted it like end of May. Until now, it's still under review. So I should be expecting, that amount of months before it gets, we hear about it from the reviewers. But anyway, yeah, so in the DiHiggs project, we would like to look at because the DiHiggs paper from these guys, Westhoff and collaborators, they applied jet substructure analysis, and they applied some multivariate analysis. And again, we would like to attempt this on our signal as well. So Subhadip would be doing that, but I told him I'll like to try it, even though this multivariate thing is like a black box to me. It's just something that I would then download and then apply to our signal. So it's not something, maybe in the future I can look at it, but it's not something I'm very familiar with. So that's the DiHiggs report. And then going to the like I said, I went to Hong Kong. So that was last Thursday. So I went there to meet with my girlfriend and her parents because it was our 11th anniversary actually. So it's like a celebration, and of course I like ours before our 11th anniversary. I also proposed to her, and fortunately she said yes. We're engaged right now, and so that's the greatest news right there. So I already had prepared the ring and everything. It's really a good ring. It's like made of emerald because like it's like her favorite color. And then yeah, so in Hong Kong, most of the times we were like roaming around because my girlfriend, she has this grand aunt there working in Hong Kong named Lola Puring, and she's like 70 years old, but she's still very very active. You can't tell, like, I thought she was like in her 50s or something like that, but she's very active. You can't tell that she was already 70 years old. So she was the one who toured us around places in Hong Kong, the places that are usually frequented by tourists. So like she took us to places like Victoria Peak, the tall buildings there. We rode the tram. We went to Ocean Park. We went to the one near the harbor, the one near the ocean, and places like that. So it was really a very nice trip. And then I noticed, in Hong Kong, since it's like an island, they're really very conscious about their spacing. So in the urban areas, when you walk around the buildings, the system is very 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 greatly implemented, but you'll notice that it's really so tight. Like the way they maximize the space is really very good. Even our hotel room with my girlfriend, it's really kind of small. It's like the smallest hotel room we've ever been to, because the way they optimize their space is really very nice. But yeah, so for me personally, because when I like go around places, I'm not really big into looking at views and like that, because I was born in a place with in Dumaguete. It's like some sort of like a ruralish area with a nice view already. So I have had my share of very nice views. But usually when I go to new places as a souvenir for myself, I usually hunt for video game related stuff. And then when Lola Puring, heard that I'm into like electronics and stuff, she said there's this place called Shamshuipu, okay, where like it's like a block where they just sell everything electronics, and I really expected there to be a video game store. And when we went there, man, I was not disappointed. So like we kind of separated, because I don't want them, my girlfriend, Lola Puring, and my girlfriend's parents, I don't want them to be following me around, when I hunt for video games. So they left me there for like 1 hour, 2 hours, and then I just went around. Man, it's like heaven on Hong Kong. It's like it's very similar to Green Hills in the Philippines. Like that's like heaven on the Philippines. Green Hills, that's also a place where they sell a lot of secondhand electronics. But in terms of video game selections, the Sham Shui Po in Hong Kong, especially the Golden Arcade Store, man, the number of video games there is like mind blowing. So when I arrived there, I was like, oh, this is so awesome. So I went around, look around for games, and here I'm gonna showcase to you the games that I got. So the conditions that I set myself is that if I buy games there, I would make sure that these are games that I can only usually hunt, because if I go to like video game stores in the Philippines, I usually am familiar with the available games that are currently in DataBlitz or in iTech, the video game stores in the Philippines. So I can look at their list of games. So I want the games that I get to be rare ones that are not usually obtainable in different places, like in the Philippines or in South Africa here. Okay, so the first one I got is actually I always wanted to have these games. This games is exclusive to Japan. I always have been tempted, to make a Japanese account and then buy it on the Japanese eShop digitally, but I always held off, and that's a good thing, because now I actually was able to find the Saikyo collection trilogy. So it comes in 3 volumes. So basically, Saikyo collection. So this you can see this is volume 1. This is volume 2, and this right here is volume 3. And Saikyo is a company in the 90s, and they love making shooting games, And before I go on, I would like to add that, these games, they are really cheap when you get it in Hong Kong. For example, when you buy Saikyo collection in like Amazon or any other places, or someone sells it secondhand in the Philippines, it's insanely expensive. So this one, like for example, this one is like around, if you convert it, it's like around 1,000 pesos, even less than that. Okay, but anyway, yeah, Saikyo collection, they collect shoot 'em up. So like in the 1990s, like Strikers, Gunbird, Soul Divide, Samurai Aces, Tengai, Dragon Blazes, Zero Gunner, and so on. And me personally, shoot 'em up games, it's one of my favorite genres of all time, because like on the NES, I grew up playing a lot of shoot 'em ups, Life Force, Star Force, B-Wings, and all those things. So I really really love shoot 'em up, especially those with very insane bullet patterns. And yeah, you can't get enough of them here. So this is the Saikyo collection, all three volumes. Okay, so volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. My only gripe with this one is that in volume 1 and volume 2, when you put it inside your Nintendo Switch, you can see that you still have to open. So there's like a single icon for volume 1 and volume 2. You still have to open it, and once you're inside the game, then you get to choose the 4 games available. There are four games per volume. the thing I hate is that Volume 3 it doesn't do that. When you insert Volume 3 on the Switch, all the four games have their own separate icon. So it's really bugging me a lot. Like how come volumes 1 and 2 they have their own single icon and then you have to go inside before you can choose the four games. But then volume 3 didn't do that. It doesn't have a single icon. When you put it in, all four games will come out of your main menu, which is very annoying. But yeah, it's fine. I have it. And again, speaking of shmups, recently released game on the eShop is the Cyvire Delta. And like again, I said most of my shmups on my Switch are digital, but every time I have a chance to get a physical, I usually go for it. So again, this is still sealed, but this is another recently released shoot 'em up Cyvire Delta, and I still haven't played it. But looking at reviews, looking at gameplays, it looks very nice. Okay, and of course we have here. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. So again, this is the spiritual successor to Castlevania, and by Igarashi, the guys who actually did the classic Castlevania games. And I'm still keeping this sealed. I'm still not opening it because this game got very good reviews on other consoles, Xbox, PS4, more powerful consoles. However, the port on the Switch is not very good. It's like there are like a lot of frame rate hiccups. The resolution is not that good, and so on. So the developers promise that they're gonna release a patch for it. So before that patch comes out, I'm not touching this game. So I'm gonna wait for that patch. But of course, I wanted to get a physical copy of this one because I really love Castlevania, and having a copy of the spiritual successor of Castlevania is really awesome. And finally, the last game that I got is Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2. Okay, so basically you get this on the PS Vita. I played this on the PS Vita. I haven't finished it, Final Fantasy 10. I'm restarting it on my Switch, because it's more cooler. I can connect it to the big screen and stuff. But the nice thing about this version, so this is a weird game because when it came out, it the physical copy comes it they come sort of comes or come on different packages. On the US or the Europe, when you buy a physical version, in the cart, it only contains Final Fantasy X. You have to download Final Fantasy X too, which is insane because this game is like around more than 10 gigs each, so it really takes a toll on your memory. Okay, so it's very bad. However, the good news is the Asian version of Final Fantasy X and X-2, both games are in the cart. Okay, and there's also a Japanese version, which is the one I got. Also, both those games are contained in the cart, Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2. So it's really idiotic, when you think about it, that the Asian version and the Japanese version, they can manage to fit two huge games, Final Fantasy X and X-2, on a single cart, but US and European region they can't do that. So it's really weird. But yeah, I got the Japanese version because I prefer Final Fantasy games. I really prefer this copy. Just the title and then just a white background because this is similar to the Asian Hong Kong version, but that one has the picture of like Tidus and Yuna on the cover, and I don't know, for me it's corny, like a huge face of like Tidus somewhere here and then Yuna, and then it's like the motif is blue and like that. I kind of prefer this. It's like plain and then just Final Fantasy X and X-2. It was so good. So these are my loots. I would have wanted more, if I had more time. But yeah, if ever I can go back to Hong Kong, one of the places I'll really come back to is Sham Shui Po. It's like again heaven in Hong Kong. And yeah, the other place that we went to, Victoria Peak, Ocean Park, they're really nice, especially Ocean Park. A lot of sea themed like carnival and stuff, and a lot of animals that they take care of there, seals, panda and stuff. But I still, I love this, man, the Shamshripo place where they sell video games. And before I end this video, before I left, July 26th, so I would be in Hong Kong. I was in Hong Kong during that time, and I won't forget this date because it's one day before the anniversary of me and my girlfriend. And July 26th is actually the release of Nintendo's most recent game. You can see here in my monitor right here, Fire Emblem Three Houses. So I really love Fire Emblem. The first Fire Emblem that I played is still back on the Game Boy, Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, and then I played the Fire Emblem there, the one with that stars Lyn. So the Sacred Stones is the one that stars the twins Ephraim and Erica. And then there's another one, a fan translated Seal of Swords. I play all of those things. In the 3DS, I actually only finished, Birthright and Conquest, the Final Fantasy Fates. I haven't played the Revelation branch of the story. I still have not finished Awakening. I wanted to finish that game because I heard a lot of people are saying that that's better than Fates, but Fates is really very good. There's also Echoes of Valentia on the 3DS that I haven't played yet. But anyway, so I really thought hard about it. Like I thought, so when this releases, this game, July 26th, I'll be in Hong Kong. So should I get it in Hong Kong or what? But when I look at the video game store here in South Africa, they're actually on release day, they're actually getting the limited edition. And like I mentioned before in one of my previous Postdoc Chronicles, the limited editions here in South Africa, they're really cheaper compared to, for example, if you purchase it in the Philippines. And usually in the Philippines, you only get the US version, and the US limited edition version, the contents are different from the European ones. So what I did before I left, I actually pre-ordered this game because it's very limited. I pre-ordered, not the game, the limited edition European one. It's very limited. So I pre-ordered the game before I went to Hong Kong, and then when I arrived to Hong Kong, it's already with the guard in my apartment waiting for me. Okay, and this, ladies and gentlemen, one of my greatest loots of 2019 video game loots is Fire Emblem Three Houses. And I was really shocked when I got it. I thought it will be like a little bit near the size of a Switch case, and I was so surprised when I saw it. It's actually very huge, but man, I really love this. I really love this game, and I'm so excited to play this Fire Emblem Three Houses. I haven't played it yet, but just to give you an idea of what it contains, so it's there on the top. But I think if we can actually open this very quickly. So it contains some sort of goodies like, let me see. So this one, it comes with the pins of the three houses, the different pins. It comes with the, this one. This is a Fire Emblem USB that contains the soundtrack of the game. So it looks like this. It's very cool. So this is like a keychain, but it's actually a Fire Emblem USB. Okay, a Fire Emblem Edition USB. So I think that's also very cool right there. And of course, that's not the only things that it contains. That would be weird. It also contains. Let me open this. This one. This is one of the best contents for me. It's one of the reasons why I get limited editions. Is they usually come with these art books. Let me try and getting it out. It's very hard. But it's like an art book. Let me see if I can push it on the other side. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is the art book for Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's one of the things I love about limited edition is you get to see behind the scene arts that went into the game and so on. So yeah, it's very nice. I'm so excited to play this game. So far the reviews are really good, but I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be into this game so much because they kind of sort of imitated the style of Persona 4. So I played Persona 4 on the Vita. I didn't finish it because it's like a Sims game. It's RPG. It's really good, but I don't know why a lot of people love it. But I don't like the way where they simulate the school, like you join organizations, you have students and stuff. I don't get it. Like I've experienced those things, when I was in high school, when I was in college, when I was in elementary. So I don't want to experience that in my video games. That's why I play video games, so that I can experience things that I would not be able to experience within my lifetime. So I don't get. Yeah, so Fire Emblem Three Houses, yeah, it sort of has a lot of those things going for it. School simulation. But anyway, that's not the only content of the limited edition. Of course, it also contains the game, this one. And again, one of the main difference between the US and the European version is that in the US, you don't actually get the casing for the game, which is I don't know. I want to have the casing as well. So it's still sealed. The game is inside, and in the US, instead of you still get the art book, but instead of getting the USB and the pins, for the USB you get a CD instead. For me personally, I prefer USB. And then for the pin, instead of the pins, which I prefer, you get calendars. Like, I mean, calendar, you can only use it, I think it's like 2020. So you can only use it for 1 year. And I don't want a calendar. I want a pin instead. But US also has, again, US does not have this casing, but they do have the steel book. And the Europe also has the steel book on top of the original casing. So a steel book is like a metal version of the usual Nintendo Switch casing. So it's really very nice. Yeah, so it's really very worth it. Yeah, I'm so excited to play this game right now. But again, I'm still, right now I'm still, I'm very addicted to Warframe. So there's that. But anyway, there's Fire Emblem Three Houses. Again, this is from South Africa, not from Hong Kong. And for the last time, I'm gonna show you the loots I got in Hong Kong. This one, okay. And of course, the most important thing is this. Also, I already am engaged, in Hong Kong. So it's really very nice that I proposed to my girlfriend abroad, because I believe that it's also like our first international trip together. So, but my girlfriend really loves trips. So in the future, we're really definitely gonna plan a lot of international trips in the future. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Has been Postdoc Chronicles week number 59. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.